Hey, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a hot minute, and by hot minute I mean a year, but it's fine. I do really appreciate all of you for being here and your patience as I have an inconsistent uploading schedule, and I will continue having an inconsistent uploading schedule. As for life updates, I did graduate university and started a new position, so I'm still getting used to #adulting, which I now realize is working all day, having a post-work nap, making and eating dinner, chilling or exercising, or having a nap again, and then it's 11 p.m. Love that for me. I do like napping a lot though. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I'm still a baby. Fun fact, I started filming these swatches in January, and I also completely finished filming this intro and outro in like March, but then I ended up hating the footage because it was so zoomed in, like you could see every single pore, and I did not like that one bit. Like, I don't know what I was doing. You'd think I didn't know how to frame a video. Spoiler alert, I don't. Which is why like half of the swatches are like inconsistently framed and zoomed in, the lighting's all different, and everything's a mess. But we're just gonna move past that because it's already November 19th as of filming this. Also, I only figured out how to show off the color shifting shimmers like halfway through filming the swatches. So some of them might not have the best angles, but we're also gonna move past that. Anyways, back to the actual video. Last November, which actually feels like 10 lifetimes ago, I took advantage of some Black Friday sales. So I got some stuff from Polish for Days, Lurid Lacquer, Knee Lacquer, ILNP and KBShimmer. Even though a bunch of these polishes are older, I thought because Black Friday is coming up again, hopefully at least some of these swatches might still be useful. I'll also be sure to note if any of the polishes aren't available to purchase anymore with a skull and crossbones emoji. Though for Lurid Lacquer and Knee Lacquer, I put the emoji for all of the polishes because those shops operate on a drop-based basis. So those polishes may be restocked at some point. I do know for Lurid Lacquer they have a restock request form on their site, so you could request which polishes you really want them to bring back. And then Knee Lacquer has these respawn drops where they bring back some discontinued polishes. And lastly, before we get started, all the finger wiggling clips of the swatches have glossy top coat over them. So without further ado, let's roll the footage. This is Room for 1000, which is described as having a deep black and purple base packed with bright orange to yellow to green shifting shimmer. I ended up using 2 coats for the swatch, but I probably should have used 3 to even it out. You could definitely get away with 2 thick coats though. Originally, I passed up on this polish when it first released in 2023, but then I had regrets because every time I saw it online, I was like, who is she? Well, you know who she is? She's what would happen if Mooncat's Flight of the Monarchs and Polish for Days' Glow Pop had a witchy half-sister. Moving on to the next polish, which is Blossom. This was the polish I wanted the most last year, and I'm happy to report it does not disappoint. It's described as having an orchid pink purple base with orange to yellow iridescent shimmer. Since it has a similar formula to Room for 1000, I actually did do a 3rd coat because we learned from our mistakes. And please ignore the unevenness here. Sometimes I have a bit of trouble with applying these really shimmery formulas as they tend to get a bit thick. And if I were to redo all the swatches I messed up, I probably would have spent another year working on this video. And I do not have that dog in me. I'm so sorry. And here's Blossom in a full hand mani during the springtime. Look at me actually using the nail polishes I purchased. Here's another shimmery polish with a purpley pink base with what looks like the exact same orange to yellow shifting shimmer in Blossom. Yeah, I think I might have a type. Though Eternal Glow's base color is more purple and deeper than Blossom's, so I swear they're very distinctive, okay? Here I built it up in 2 generous coats by itself. I was happy with the results of the 2 coats, but you definitely need a 3rd for full opacity. Over a clear base, the purple is actually not super apparent, so I ended up using this polish to test the Lavender Ice Soft Focus base coat I got. Polish for Days has several different blurring base coats, each with a different tint, so this one is perfect for purple polishes. I only have the Briar Rose one to compare it with, which is more of a warm neutral tint. For these base coats, you just need to use 1 coat, and be very careful as it's a pretty thin formula. After it dried, I layered Eternal Glow over it, and you could see how the base coat brings out the purple color much more in comparison to 1 coat over a clear base. And with a 2nd coat, it looks way more saturated than 2 coats on its own. I recommend these kind of blurring base coats if you want to make a polish look more opaque, or if you want to conserve a particular polish. But let's be real, if you're watching this, you probably have enough nail polish to last a lifetime. Here we have Black Friday 2024, which was the gift with purchase for the first 400 orders over $75 US. I describe this as having a sheer dark mauve base with loads of green to blue to purple shifting shimmer and hollow flakes. Now if you're wondering how quickly you have to check out to snag a gift with purchase, I believe last year for Polish for Days it lasted a good hour or so. Needless to say, you won't have to check out like it's a Great Lakes Lacquer Black Friday drop. To be honest, I'm not happy with how I captured this polish, because I don't think my lighting setup did the polish justice. It has a much glowier shimmer than it appears on my camera that my direct lighting just doesn't showcase. I even tried turning down the lights, but it's really not the same as it would look with indirect lighting. But hey, at least the hollow looks good. Next up, I did some low-stakes gambling by getting a mystery overpour bag. This comes with 3 mystery polishes from collabs over the year, such as Polish Pickup and For the Love of Polish. I'm Too Pretty to Mess With was from Polish Pickup in June 2024, and is inspired by Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls. It has an aqua base with a metallic magenta to yellow to green iridescent shifting microflake shimmer. Ooh boy, what a mouthful. This is the second polish from the mystery bag, which is named after Merengue from Animal Crossing. Merengue is a baby pink crelly with pink to yellow to green large particle shimmer. Speaking of Animal Crossing, I finally got New Horizons last year, and I have barely touched it. I did use 3 coats for this, but the third was completely unnecessary. Like, look at this third coat, there's no difference being made. I don't know why I did this. When I first opened this, I was a bit disappointed as I normally don't gravitate towards these more delicate shades. But then I wore this fully and I didn't hate it, so let's go. For the last mystery bag polish, I received Goblins and Ghoulies, which I already have. Haha. Very unlucky considering that's the only PPU polish I got from them last year. So we're just gonna skip over that. The final thing I got from Polish for Days is the Child, which is inspired by one of my favorite characters solely designed to make merchandise, Grogu. This was previously a limited time polish that was re-released last year, so it's no longer available now. It has a sage green base packed with green to aqua to blue shifting shimmer and hollow flakes. I actually went back to reshoot this swatch because my initial clip did not do this polish justice, hence why it's more zoomed in than the earlier polishes because I'm unskilled at framing my shots. It was worth the extra effort though because just look at that glow. Yummy. Next up, we've got Lurid Lacquer. They didn't technically have a Black Friday sale besides a select few discounted polishes, but I couldn't resist purchasing from them because they have so many beauties that I eyed over the year, such as Nettle and Briar. This has a sheer seafoam green base with pink to orange to gold shifting shimmer. I'd say this one is quite well known in the indie nail polish community, so I was really excited to finally get this one. I will say, it is sheerer than I thought it would be, so if you're not a fan of visible nail line, you'll probably have to wear a blurring base coat underneath. And here's that beautiful orangey yellow shift. Against my better judgment, I got Playing with Mom's Makeup, which has a semi-sheer raspberry pink jelly base with purple to pink to red shifting shimmer. I was a bit apprehensive about this one because I tend to avoid cool tone pinks and debated between getting this and You of Unshakable Conviction, which is a more warm tone pink. If anyone has both, I'd love to know which one you prefer and if I need You of Unshakable Conviction as well. Next we have Soli Mar. Mar? Sorry, I can't roll my R's. Please excuse my very poor Spanish skills, or lack thereof. This has a blue base with green to blue shifting shimmer and hollow flakes. I will admit, I was very influenced to get this because it was one of the few polishes on sale and my frugality overtook my rationality. But upon receiving it and subsequent reflection, I realized it looks similar to Cloudscape by Polish for Days, which I already have and love. I'll be uploading side-by-side comparisons in my channel posts for the few similar polishes I have, but fair warning, it will be a hodgepodge of polishes since I don't actually have that many to compare with. So who knows how helpful it'll actually be, or if I'll actually upload it in a timely manner. Next up is Sleep, Wake, Die, which might be my favorite of this bunch, and it also has the most relatable name. It's inspired by cicadas, which I actually didn't know existed until like last year. To be fair, I live on the West Coast Best Coast, and we don't have them there. Instead, we have huge chunks of butter and vocal fry. What more could you want in life? Anyway, back to the polish. This has a cool purple jelly base with black to red multi-chrome microflakes, red to orange shimmer, and bronze reflective glitter. This one is just so unique to me. I'm a certified red tone polish hater, and this concoction is just mwah, chef's kiss. All the components work together so well. I am deceased, just like those cicadas. Lavender was Lurid Lacquer's color of the month for November 2024, and this one, called Tibberz, was one of the 4 polishes. I have no idea if this is supposed to be named after Annie's bear from League of Legends, but I'm just gonna pretend it is. Okay, so a quick search led me to see that this was actually inspired by the shop owner's dog, and there is an aside about Tibberz from League of Legends, so I wasn't too far off base. Speaking of bases, this has a lavender jelly base with loads of teal to blue to purple shifting shimmer. I was pretty happy with the coverage in 2 coats because the shimmer was just so strong. Here's another polish from the November 2024 Color of the Month series. This is the Joy of Snow. It has a sheer base with the slightest white tint and coppery red to gold shimmer. I used 3 coats of this one, and it's the kind of polish that will never build up to full opacity, so don't even try. The sheerness makes for a more delicate and dainty look, which I'm kinda into. For Bee's Knees Lacquer, I only purchased 2 polishes, so this is a tiny haul. I did get a free guava candy, which I am a big fan of, as you can see from my growing collection of candies I hoard from restaurants. So the only reason why I purchased from BKL this time was because of this icon, Lemon. I was sick of missing out on her, so I literally placed a 2 polish order just to get her. Lemon has a clear base with strong yellow shimmer and silver reflective glitter. Now normally I'd be put off by a clear base because I hate my nail line, but this shimmer is truly strong because with 2 coats it's actually concealed the nail line pretty well. And here's the polish under flash so you could see the reflective glitters reflecting. Boy, am I articulate. Even though Lemon is technically discontinued, it does get brought back occasionally. I do think it'll be restocked on November 26th, which is a Wednesday and not a Friday, for their Black Friday sale. But don't quote me on that, also I don't know how many there will be, so you might have to be quick. And even if it doesn't, Knee Lacquer tends to create similar looking polishes a lot, so you could always keep an eye out for those. This is Go Home, which is the second and final thing I purchased from Knee Lacquer. It's got a purple base with gold shimmer and a scattering of silver reflective glitter. It seems that I was on a yellow shimmer and reflective glitter kick, because this is basically lemon with a more purple base. Though the base is still pretty sheer, so even with 3 coats it didn't have full opacity. This would probably look good over the Polish for Days Lavender base coat, so I might try it over that sometime. It seems like the shimmer shifts more yellowy than gold at an angle. And here it is under flash as well, and you can see the little glints of glitter. This polish was actually a freebie that I got with my purchase, and I don't believe there is a minimum purchase value during their Buzzmas/Black Friday event, so I was pleasantly surprised to receive this. This one's called You Have to Know the Way, which I can't help but think is a Mandalorian reference, but it's not. This has a blackened turquoise jelly base with silver to green microflake shimmer. I mainly only did a 3rd coat because I applied it kind of unevenly, but the color is pretty dark so I don't think it necessarily needs a 3rd coat. The next haul is from ILNP, which I usually only purchase from on Black Friday since that's their only site-wide sale period. Starting off, we've got Carved, which I initially forgot to swatch in my big batch of swatch filming, which is why these clips look so different from the others. But we're gonna ignore that, okay? Please. It bothers me too, I know. Carved has an orange jelly base packed with orange to yellow large particle shimmer and what looks like flecks of orangey gold metallic flakes. It builds up to full opacity beautifully in 2 to 3 coats. This is like the perfect Christian girl autumn polish. I can picture it already. Like, imagine wearing this polish with a fluffy cardigan and big hat, and then you're walking back home with the crunch of freshly fallen leaves greeting your boots, all with a pumpkin spice latte in hand and Gilmore Girls ready to watch on your TV. Ah, that's the dream. So yeah, if you're someone who's really into the fall season, this is like the perfect polish. And looky, I even wore a full hand of it. Wow. Isn't she pretty? Next up, we have Ink, which is a black creme polish. I find that ILNP polishes are thinner in general than other brands, so you can see me struggling with this first attempt. You could even see how I'm like coping with this first coat and how bad the coverage was. Like, I was trying so hard to make it opaque in 1 coat. I ended up having to do 2 coats for full coverage. And you know, for a black creme I would want it to be opaque in 1 coat, so I ended up trying Ink again, this time with a way thicker coat, and I had a much better time. So I'd say to get the best results you'd want to leave more polish on the brush instead of wiping away the excess on the bottle. Normally I would recommend using thinner coats for polishes in general, but this one needs a lot to apply evenly. If you're wondering how this compares with other boutique brand black cremes, personally I've only tried Hollow Tacos and I do find that one easier to use, but ILNP's price to volume ratio is quite a lot cheaper than its counterparts while still performing decently. And for me, the sale price influences me much more than its ease of use, so I find it pretty worth the price. You just gotta slap it on thick. Next, I'll be trying My Private Rainbow X over Ink. So this is a holographic topper. It's like a step between a scattered hollow topper and a flaky hollow topper. The particles are larger than the typical scattered hollow topper, and it's a touch denser, so the density will probably obscure nail art a little bit, but it's for those who want more hollow than what a scattered hollow topper would offer. Out of all of ILNP's hollow toppers, this one has the largest hollow particles, but they're still pretty small. And if I made no sense whatsoever, here's a comparison pic that ILNP kindly has on their website. I don't know why I said kindly. It's giving a phishing scam. Also, FYI, it seems that the bottom 2 toppers are no longer available, because I could only find the top 2 on their site. You could tell I was using this sale to stock up on basics, so I got this white creme, which is called Canvas. This one, along with Ink, and I believe all the other creme polishes of their Studio color line, come with these paddle brushes that have a rounded tip. I found these brushes much easier to use than their usual straight edge skinny brushes, and I really wish the others used these brushes by default as well. Drop a comment if you're a skinny brush hater and wish they ceased to exist. Or argue with me if you like skinny brushes. I don't know, I want to be messy for some reason. Now that we're done with the basics, we got some more exciting polishes. Ooh. If you keep up with indie polishes, you might know this one, which is Flower Child. It's got a sheer pink jelly base with strong blue shimmer and hollow flakes. I built this up in 3 coats, but I'm not sure if the 3rd coat even made much of a difference, so you could probably just skip the 3rd coat. Though I did go very heavy-handed with the first 2 coats, so that's probably why the 3rd coat made no difference. Fun fact, when I broke my thumbnail all those months ago, I used this one to patch it up, because I knew I wouldn't get bored looking at it for those like 4 weeks it took to grow back. And boy, was it a long 4 weeks. You can see the strong blue shimmer at a direct angle, and it shifts to a more indigo color. Also part of the same banger collection that Flower Child was in is Bluebell. If you're familiar with ILNP's Fairy Dust, this is like the blue sister of that. So it's got the same orange to green shimmer with densely scattered hollow, but with a sky blue jelly base instead of purple. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that I actually like this more than Fairy Dust, but that's just because I like blue more than purple. Because this has a jelly base, you'll have to build this up in 2 to 3 coats for fuller coverage. So at a direct angle, it has this orange shimmer, and then at extreme angles, it has this kind of greenish yellowy shimmer. Next up, we've got Amber, which is described as a deep terracotta hued magnetic nail polish, or as I'd like to describe it as, amber colored. First, I'll be showing off how it looks unmagnetized, built up in 2 coats. Just 2 coats of it got it pretty much opaque. And I think it looks really pretty even without magnetizing it. Then I applied a thicker 3rd coat and magnetized it using the cat eye method. For the best results, I held the magnet over my nail immediately after the 3rd coat and until the pigment stopped moving. And here it is magnetized in the velvet style using my very scuffed makeshift horseshoe magnet setup. Yeah, I don't have a horseshoe magnet yet, so this will have to do for now. This is a 2nd coat over an already magnetized 1st coat. And if you see a bald patch, no you don't. Moving on, this is One Up, which is a lime green linear hollow polish. There's not really much to say about this one. It's lime green, it's very hollow. That's all I was really looking for, so I'm satisfied. The formula is a little bit sheer, so if you want it to be opaque, a 3rd coat might be necessary. And unfortunately, my LED lights will never capture linear hollows the same way the sun would, so I'm unable to show off just how intense the linear hollow effect is, but trust me, it's very, very strong. And the final polish from my ILNP haul is Funhouse. This is a vibrant Caribbean green metallic polish. As you can see, each coat is pretty sparse, but it builds up to full opacity in 3 coats. You know how I said I can't capture linear hollows that well with my lighting setup? Well, metallic polishes are even harder to capture the beauty of. The sheen is just too powerful. It feels like the most eye-catching polishes I have are metallic shades. Like, they're just so pretty in person. So I'm sorry if I don't do this shade justice. I even touched grass just to try to show this more accurately, because the studio lighting was a little too strong where it just reflects too much light, and then you can't even see the polish itself. Sorry to the KBShimmer fans out there, but my haul from them was actually really small. I only really picked up some basics. I did get this freebie holiday glitter container though, and I actually made use of it last year in this simple little look I did. The first thing I got was this top coat and base coat duo. You can mix and match from their catalog of base and top coats, so I chose the Fill and Groovy Ridge Filling base coat and their Clearly on Top Quick Dry top coat. The top coat does have toluene in it, so I would not recommend it if you're sensitive to that smell. But personally, I didn't mind it at all because I love inhaling chemicals. And then the last thing I got, yes, we're already at the last item, is Love at Frostite. This is a silver magnetic topper, so it's meant to be used on top of other polishes to DIY a magnetic effect. To demonstrate, I magnetized 1 coat of this in the velvet style over ILNP's Flower Child. And then I also tried sandwiching it with a coat of Flower Child over Love at Frostite to make it look more integrated. And you could see here the difference using the magnetic topper compared to Flower Child on its own. It adds even more depth to the polish. And if you're wondering what it looks like in the cat eye style, I apologize because I did not film that. Haha. But it is on KBShimmer's website, so here is a screenshot of that. And that's everything I got for Black Friday last year. Let me know which of these polishes you like the most, and if you ended up picking up anything during this Black Friday. If there's anything that I learned this year, it's that I should never tease a video ever again before I actually make it. So expect to hear absolutely nothing from me until a video just randomly drops one day. Which is why you should like and subscribe for more sporadically posted videos. And make sure to turn that bell icon on if you want to be notified of any new videos, because they will be rare. And I'd love to yap in the comments about, like, anything, so make sure to drop a comment down below if you feel like it. Sorry, I don't want to coerce you. Wow, look at me with all the corny lines and the bed backdrop. I feel like a real YouTuber now. Just kidding, I'm never quitting my day job. But yeah, I'll see you all whenever I feel like locking in and dropping a new video. Bye!